Hello friends and welcome. So today we will be starting with linear equations in two variables. So let's get started. What is a linear equation? Now we will understand what is a linear equation with the help of a definition. So let's read it. An equation which contains two variables and the degree of the each term containing variable is 1 is called as linear equation. So we will break down this equation in two parts and understand what is a linear equation. So an equation which contains two variables. So we should have an equation which is having two variables. Now what is a variable? Variable is nothing but your alphabets. It can be A, B, C, X, Y, Z, anything. Now we will read the second part. So the degree of the each term containing variable is 1. So it means that the degree of the two variables should be 1. Now, what is the degree of a variable? So, degree of a variable is nothing but the raised to power of any variable. Now, what does this mean? If I'm saying I have x raised to 1, I'm having x square, I'm having x cube, I'm having x raised to 4. So, over here, the numbers that I'm saying that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these all are the degree of our variables. So if I'm saying I have x raised to 1, so the degree of x is 1. If I'm saying x square, then the degree is 2. X cube, then the degree is 3. X raised to 4, then the degree is 4. So according to the definition, we should have an equation which is having two variables wherein the variables can be any of your alphabets and the degree of the two variables should be 1. That is, if I'm having x and y as my two variables, then the degree of the two variables should be 1. That is, we should have x raised to 1 and y raised to 1. If these two conditions are satisfied, then the given equation is a linear equation. If any of these two is not satisfied, then this is not a linear equation. Okay, so we are having this equation. So over here you can see we are having two variables, that is x and y, and the degree of both the variables is 1. So yes, this is definitely a linear equation. Now, what is this A, B, and C? So A over here is our coefficient of x, and B is our coefficient of y, and C is our constant, which can be any number. Okay, so I hope what is a linear equation is clear to you, and the definition is also clear to you. We will understand more in detail with this one question. So the question says, distinguish whether the given equations are linear or not. So we are having two columns, that is equations and linear or not. So what we have to do is we have to check the equations, see the equations and check whether the given equations are linear or not. Okay, so let's start. So the first equation we have is 2x plus 3y is equals to 10. So in the previous slide, we saw the conditions for any equation to be linear. The conditions were that any equation should have two variables and both the two variables should have their degree as 1. So we will check. We have two variables, that is x and y. First condition is satisfied. Now we will check for the degree. So degree of x is 1 and degree of y is also 1. So our second condition is also satisfied. Now since both the conditions are satisfied, so we will say that yes, this is a linear equation. Now we will go to the second equation. The second equation is root 2x minus root 3y, which is equals to minus 1. Now looking at this root only, many people will say that this is not a linear equation because it is having a root in the coefficient place. But this is not the case. We will only check for the given two conditions that we saw in the previous slide. So the two conditions were that the equation should have two variables. So we are having two variables, that is x and y, and the degree of the two variables should be 1. So yes, the degree of x and y is 1. So yes, this is a linear equation. It doesn't matter if the coefficient of your x and y is a root or if it is in decimal, but the two conditions for linear equations should be satisfied. If that condition is satisfied and you are having root, it doesn't matter, it is a linear equation. Next, third equation we have 4 by x plus 10 by y, which is equals to 15. Now looking at this equation also, you will think that this is not a linear equation because we are having fractions, that is 4 upon x, 10 upon y, which is equals to 15. But this is not the case. This is also a linear equation. Now, how is this a linear equation? So if I'm saying 1 by x, I'll take as m. From 4 by x, I will take 1 by x as m. And from 10 by y, I will take 1 by y as n. So what will I get? 4m plus 10n, which is equals to 15. So you can see 4m plus 10n, which is equals to 15. Now this is a linear equation for sure, because now we will check the conditions. We have two variables. Yes, we have two variables. Then the degree of the two variables is 1. Yes, the degree of the two variables is 1. So yes, this is a linear equation. Now we will see the fourth equation. The fourth equation we have is 4x square minus 10xy, which is equals to 15. So here we have two variables, but the degree of x is not 1. The degree of x is what? 2. So our second condition is not satisfied. And I just told that if any one of the condition is also not satisfied, then it is not a linear equation. And since the degree is 2, so we will say that this is not a linear equation. Now we will come to the fifth equation. The fifth equation is 4xy minus 20y, which is equals to 8. So we are having two variables, but the degree of the two variables is not 1. Why? Because over here we are having xy and the degree of x is 1, y is 1. So 1 and 1 combined, we are getting the degree as 2. So this is not a linear equation because the degree is not equal to 1. So I hope you all must have gotten this clear that what is a linear equation, how do we check whether the given equations are linear or not, and the two conditions for linear equations. So now we will check how to solve linear equations. So if you are given two linear equations, so how will you solve those two linear equations? So let us see one question. So the question is, solve the following simultaneous equations. 5m minus 3n is equals to 19 and m minus 6n is equals to minus 7. So what we have to do over here is we have to solve the two equations and we have to find the value of m and n. So to solve the linear equations, we are having two methods and we will see both the methods one by one, and we will now start with the first method. Now method 1. So in method 1, what we are going to do is we are going to take any one variable. So if I'm saying that I am taking variable m, so what we have to do is we have to make the coefficients of the variables in the equation 1 and equation 2 as same. So if our m is having 5 as the coefficient in equation 1, then it should have 5 in equation 2 as well. Now, what is the benefit of making the coefficients same? So if I'm making the coefficient of m in equation 2 as 5, so I will get 5m and 5m over here. And if I subtract 1 by 2, then 5m will get cancelled. So then I can find the value of n easily. And then using the value of n, I can find m. Now, there are two ways that you can do this in this two equations. That is, either you can make this m as 5 or either you can make this 3 as 2. So what you can do is either you can multiply equation 2 by 5 to get 5 over here, or you can multiply equation 1 by 2 to get 6 over here. Now I feel that multiplying any equation by 2 is more easier than multiplying it by 5. It is not that if you multiply by 5 you will not get the answer, you will get the answer, but it can make the calculations a bit difficult, which can lead to mistakes. So that is why I will go with equation 1 and I will multiply it by 2. So here we are saying multiplying equation 1 by 2, so we get the equations as 10m minus 6n is, which is equals to 30m. That is 5 to the 10, 3 to the 6, and 19 to the 38. So this will be our third equation, and this is our second equation. Now you can see clearly that we are having the coefficients of n similar. So now if I subtract 3 by 2, then 6 and 6n will get cancelled, and I can find the value of m. So let's proceed and see. Subtracting 3 by 2, we get 10m minus 6n is equals to 38 and minus m. plus 6n is equals to 7. So you can see we had m minus 6n is equals to minus 7, which became minus m plus 6n is equals to 7 since we have subtracted. So 6 and 6n will get cancelled. We know 10m minus m is 9m. 38 plus 7 is 45. So we get m is equals to 45 by 9, which is equals to 5. Now we are having the value of 5, and using this value of 5, we can find the value of n. So we will see, we can substitute this value of 5 is equals to m in any of the previous three equations. So the three equations we are having is 5m minus 3n is equals to 19, m minus 6n is equals to minus 7, and 10m minus 6n is equals to 38. Now we can substitute the value of 5 is equals to m in any of these three equations. But what I prefer is to select the most simplest equation. Why? Because if I'm substituting the value of 5 over here, so this number will become 25. If I'm substituting 5 over here, then this number will become 50. So what is happening? We are getting bigger numbers. And when we have bigger numbers, this may lead to mistakes in your calculation and you might get wrong answers. So that is why I always prefer to take the equation which is the most simplest and which will not lead to any mistakes. So we will go ahead and we will use the equation 2. So now substituting m is equals to 5 in equation 2. So we get m minus 6n is equals to minus 7, which was our equation. Now we will substitute 5 minus 6n is equals to minus 7. Now we will keep the variables to one side and we will send the coefficients to one side. So we get 5 plus 7, we brought 7 over here and we will send 6n over here, which is equals to 6n. So our 6n is equals to 12. So we get our n as 12. Therefore, we have our m is equals to 5 and our n is equals to 2. So using this method, we found the values of the two variables, that is m and n, which is 5 and 2. Now we will use the second method with the same equation and find the values of m and n. So in this method, what we have to do is we have to select any one equation and represent them in any one of their variables. That is, I can take equation 1 and represent this equation in terms of m or n, or I can take equation 2 and represent it in terms of m or n. So I will be taking equation 2 and represent it in terms of m. So how will we do that? I have this equation, that is m minus 6n is equals to minus 7. Now I want to represent this equation in terms of m. So I will keep m to one side and send the remaining all to the right side. So I have m is equals to 6n minus 7. So I have represented the equation 2 in terms of m. So we are getting the value of m as 6n minus 7. Now you can represent this equation 2 in terms of n also, or you can represent the equation 1 in terms of m as n also. The reason why I choose equation 2 and I represented it in terms of m is because m is having the coefficient 1. And if I would have represented it in terms of n, then I would have to send this 6n over here, then 7 would have come here. It would have become m plus 7 and upon 6. So we are getting fractions. This might make the calculations difficult. So to avoid difficult calculations and mistakes, we are using the simple method. So always try to go for those which are having 1 as the coefficient. If you have that equation in 1, that equation in your given question, if there is no such equations given in the question, then you will have to go with the equations they are not having coefficients. So let's move ahead. So now I will substitute the value of m, that is 6n minus 7, in the first equation. So what will it get? We'll get 5m minus 3n, which is 19. And now 5 into 6n minus 7 minus 3n, which is equals to 19. So we have substituted the value of m over here. So 5 6 are 30n minus 5 7 are 35 minus 3n, which is equals to 19. So now what we will do is we will keep the variables to one side and we will send the coefficients to the other side. So what will we get? We will get 30n minus 3n and 19. We will send 35 over there, so it will get plus 35. So this will become 27n and this will become 54. So our n is 54 by 27. So we get n is equals to 2. Now we will represent, now we can substitute the value of n is equals to 2 in any of the previous equations. So we are having first equation, second equation and third equation. So we can substitute the value of n in any of these two equations, but we will choose the most simplest equation. Now you can see the equation 2 and 3, they're both the same equation. Only the thing is that I have shifted the values to the right. So you can choose any of the equations. So I will choose equation 3, which is the most simplest. So we'll go ahead and give the equation 3. Now substituting n is equals to 2 in equation 3, we get m is equals to 6n minus 7. So m is equals to 6 into 2 minus 7. So we get m as 12 minus 7, that is m is equals to 5. So we get the value of m is equals to 5 and n is equals to 2. So you can see that whether I'm solving this equation using the first method or I'm solving it using the second method, we are getting the same values. So you can solve this equation, the linear equations either by method 1 or by method 2. It's up to you, whichever you find comfortable. So let's move ahead and solve one more question. So we are having the equations as 15x plus 17y, which is equals to 21, which I have labeled as 1. Then we have 17x plus 15y, which is equals to 11, which I have labeled as 2. Now you can see that in equation 1, the coefficient of x is 15, and equation 2, the coefficient of x is 17. Now I cannot multiply 15 with any number to get 17, or I cannot multiply 17 by any number to get 15. So here we cannot make the coefficients of x or y equal. So how will we solve it? This is a bit of a different question. So solving is also different. Now in this question, you cannot multiply either equation 1 or either equation 2 by any number to get similar coefficients. So over here, what we will do is we will first add these two equations. When we add these two equations, we will get one equation. Then we will subtract these two equations. When we subtract these two equations, we will get a second equation. Now using those both equations, then we will solve those two equations and get the answer of x and y. So let us solve and see. So now we will add those two equations, that is equation 1 and 2. So we have 15x plus 17y, which is 21, and we have 17x plus 15y, which is 11. So we will add, so we get 32x plus 32y, which is equals to 32. So we are having 32, 32 and 32. So we can reduce this equation by dividing throughout by 32. So we get x plus y is equals to 1. This will be our third equation. Now we got the first equation by adding those two equations. Now we will subtract those two equations. So when we subtract, we get 15x plus 17y, which is equals to 21, and minus 17x minus 15y, which is equals to minus 11, which is equal to minus 2x plus 2y, which is equals to 10. So we can see we have 2, 2 and 10. So we can again reduce this equation by dividing it by 2. So we get minus x plus y is equals to 5, and this is our third equation. So by adding and subtracting, we got two equations and we have labeled them as 3 and 4. Now you can see if I'm adding, then minus x and plus x will get cancelled and I will get the value of y. So I can either add these two equations and I can also subtract. So when I'm subtracting these two equations, then y will get cancelled and you will get the value of x. So you can either add these two equations or you can subtract these two equations. It is up to you. So I'm adding these two equations. So when we add, we get x plus y is equals to 1 minus x plus y is equals to 5. So x will get cancelled and we get 2y is equals to 6. So our y is equals to 3. Now we will substitute the value of y is equals to 3 in any of the previous equations. Now we remember that the first two equations were 15x plus 17y is equals to 21 and 17x plus 15y is equals to 11. Now substituting the value of y in any of these two equations, will lead to big numbers, and that will become difficult calculations which can result that you will get wrong answers. So that is why we will not substitute the value of y in these two equations. Instead, we will substitute the value of y in any of these two equations, that is 4 or 3. So you can substitute it in either 4 or 3. I will go with 3 because it is having plus throughout. That is easy, most easiest. So we will substitute the value of y is equals to 3 in equation 3. So this is our equation, that is x plus y is equals to 1. So we get x plus 3 is equals to 1, which is 1 minus 3. So our x is equals to minus 2. So we get the value of x is equals to minus 2 and y is equals to minus 3. So this is how we are supposed to solve the given two linear equations to find the value of the variables. So in today's video, we saw was the introduction to linear equations. We saw what are linear equations, how do we check whether the given equations are linear equations or not, and then we learned two methods to solve linear equations. First one method was simultaneous equation, and the second was the substitution method. So I hope this whole video is clear to you all. In the next video, we will be learning how to solve linear equations using the graphical method. Thank you.